Picture this, San Francisco, 1966. The summer of love is in full swing, hippies preach peace and love, but something else is brewing in the shadows. Anton LaVey, a former lion tamer with a sinister charisma, founds the Church of Satan. This wasn't your typical church. LaVey shaved his head, donned a black robe, and adopted the title, the Black Pope. He held rituals with nude women and challenged conventional morality. The Church of Satan was born, and with it, modern Satanism was unleashed upon the world. Now before you picture pentagrams and blood sacrifices, let's set the record straight. Satanism, as it is often misunderstood, is not about dark rituals and sinister ceremonies. The imagery of pentagrams and blood sacrifices is largely a product of Hollywood and sensationalist media. These depictions are far removed from the actual philosophy and practice of modern Satanism. Instead, Satanism is a complex and nuanced belief system that deserves a closer look. Satanism, as practiced by the Church of Satan, isn't about devil worship. It's a philosophy that emphasizes individualism, rationalism, and self-preservation. Founded by Anton LaVey in 1966, the Church of Satan promotes a worldview that is atheistic and materialistic. It rejects the existence of supernatural beings, including both gods and devils. This philosophy is grounded in the belief that humans are their own highest authority and that personal fulfillment is paramount. It's a philosophy centered around individualism, rationalism, and self-preservation. The core tenets of Satanism encourage followers to prioritize their own well-being and personal growth. This means embracing one's desires and instincts, but also taking responsibility for one's actions. It's about living life to the fullest, without guilt or shame imposed by traditional religious doctrines. By doing so, Satanists believe they can achieve a more authentic and fulfilling existence. LaVey saw Satan not as a literal being but as a symbol of rebellion, indulgence, and the rejection of herd mentality. He believed that Satan represented the ultimate adversary to the oppressive structures of organized religion and societal norms. By adopting the symbol of Satan, LaVey and his followers sought to challenge the status quo and promote a philosophy of self-empowerment. This act of rebellion was not just about rejecting religious dogma, but also about embracing a more liberated and self-determined way of life. His book, The Satanic Bible, became a controversial bestseller, outlining these principles and attracting a following of freethinkers and iconoclasts. Published in 1969, The Satanic Bible is a collection of essays, observations, and rituals that articulate the philosophy of Satanism. It has been translated into multiple languages and remains a seminal text for those interested in alternative spiritualities. The book's influence extends beyond its immediate followers, sparking debates and discussions about the nature of religion and morality. But here's the thing, Satanism thrives on provocation. It deliberately challenges societal norms and forces people to confront their own prejudices and fears. By embracing symbols and ideas that are traditionally seen as taboo, Satanists aim to provoke thought and encourage critical examination of accepted beliefs. This provocative nature is not just for shock value, it serves as a catalyst for deeper reflection and understanding. It challenges norms and forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves. Satanism encourages introspection and self-awareness. It asks us to look within and acknowledge our true nature, including our darker impulses and desires. By doing so, we can better understand ourselves and make more informed choices about how we live our lives. This process of self-discovery is seen as essential for personal growth and empowerment. It's about embracing our darker impulses while taking responsibility for our actions. Satanism teaches that it is natural to have desires and instincts that may be considered dark or sinful by traditional moral standards. However, it also emphasizes the importance of personal responsibility and ethical behavior. It's not about acting on every impulse without regard for others, but about finding a balance between self-indulgence and accountability. This balance is crucial for living a life that is both fulfilling and respectful of others. It's about questioning authority and thinking for ourselves. Satanism encourages skepticism and critical thinking. It urges individuals to question the validity of established norms and to seek their own truths. This often involves challenging authority figures and institutions that seek to control or limit personal freedom. By doing so, Satanists believe they can carve out a more authentic and liberated existence. And that, my friends, can be a dangerous and exhilarating thing. Embracing the philosophy of Satanism means stepping outside of conventional boundaries and exploring new ways of thinking and being. It can be a liberating experience, but it also comes with risks. By challenging the status quo and embracing one's true self, Satanists often find themselves at odds with mainstream society. But for those who are willing to take the journey, the rewards can be profound. The path of Satanism is not for the faint-hearted, but for those who dare to question and explore. It offers a unique and transformative experience. In conclusion, Satanism is not about worshiping the devil or engaging in dark rituals. It's a philosophy that promotes individualism, self-empowerment, and critical thinking. It challenges us to confront our own nature and to live authentically, without fear or shame. Whether you agree with its principles or not, there's no denying that Satanism offers a unique and thought-provoking perspective on life. It invites us to look beyond the surface and to question the deeper aspects of our existence, encouraging a life of introspection and personal growth. From the shadows, Satanism crept into the mainstream. It wasn't just a whisper in the dark corners of society, it became a loud, roaring presence that infiltrated various aspects of popular culture. The allure of the forbidden, the mysterious, and the dark has always fascinated humanity. But in the late 20th century, this fascination took on a new form, one that was both thrilling and terrifying. The cultural landscape was shifting, and with it, the boundaries of what was considered acceptable or taboo were being constantly redefined. Heavy metal music, with its dark themes and rebellious spirit, became a haven for satanic imagery and lyrics. The genre, born out of a desire to push boundaries and challenge societal norms, found a perfect match in the themes of darkness and rebellion. Bands used these themes not just to shock, but to create a sense of identity and belonging among their fans. The music was loud, aggressive, and unapologetically dark, providing an outlet for those who felt alienated by mainstream culture. The raw energy and intensity of the music resonated deeply with a generation that was searching for something more profound and meaningful. Heavy metal became a haven for satanic imagery and lyrics. The stage performances were theatrical, often resembling dark rituals with elaborate costumes, makeup, and lighting effects that created an atmosphere of otherworldly menace. The lyrics, filled with references to the occult, the supernatural, and the forbidden, resonated with fans who were drawn to the mystique and the rebellion that the music represented. The concerts were not just musical events, they were immersive experiences that transported the audience into a different realm, where the lines between reality and fantasy blurred. Black Sabbath, pioneers of the genre, were often associated with Satanism, their name itself a nod to the occult. The band's music, with its heavy, doom-laden sound and lyrics that explored themes of evil, madness, and the supernatural, set the template for what would become known as heavy metal. Ozzy Osbourne, the band's charismatic frontman, became a symbol of the genre's dark allure, with his wild antics and controversial behavior both on and off stage. Their influence was profound, shaping the sound and aesthetic of countless bands that followed in their footsteps. Their name itself a nod to the occult. The band's imagery, from their album covers to their stage sets, was filled with symbols and references to the occult, further cementing their association with Satanism. This association was both a blessing and a curse, as it brought them notoriety and a devoted fan base, but also made them a target for moral panics and accusations of corrupting the youth. The controversy surrounding their music only added to their mystique, making them legends in the eyes of their fans. Marilyn Manson, the self-proclaimed Antichrist superstar, terrified parents and captivated youth with his blasphemous performances and shocking visuals. His music, a blend of industrial rock and heavy metal, was filled with provocative lyrics that challenged religious and societal norms. His stage persona, with its grotesque makeup and outlandish costumes, was designed to shock and provoke, making him one of the most controversial figures in music. Manson's concerts were theatrical spectacles, filled with disturbing imagery and performances that pushed the boundaries of what was considered acceptable. His influence extended beyond music, impacting fashion, art, and popular culture in ways that were both profound and unsettling. Movies like The Exorcist and Rosemary's Baby brought satanic panic to the big screen, fueling public fascination and fear. These films, with their terrifying depictions of demonic possession and satanic rituals, tapped into deep-seated fears about the supernatural and the unknown. They were not just horror movies, they were cultural phenomena that sparked debates about the nature of evil and the influence of the occult in society. The impact of these films was far-reaching, influencing not only the horror genre but also the broader cultural conversation about good and evil. And Rosemary's Baby brought satanic panic to the big screen, fueling public fascination and fear. These films, with their terrifying depictions of demonic possession and satanic rituals, tapped into deep-seated fears about the supernatural and the unknown. They were not just horror movies, they were cultural phenomena that sparked debates about the nature of evil and the influence of the occult in society. The chilling narratives and haunting visuals left an indelible mark on the psyche of audiences, making them question the boundaries between reality and fiction. Brought satanic panic to the big screen, fueling public fascination and fear. These films, with their terrifying depictions of demonic possession and satanic rituals, tapped into deep-seated fears about the supernatural and the unknown. They were not just horror movies. They were cultural phenomena that sparked debates about the nature of evil and the influence of the occult in society. The fear they generated was palpable, leading to a surge in interest in the occult and a corresponding rise in paranoia and suspicion, fueling public fascination and fear. The impact of these movies was profound, as they not only entertained but also influenced public perception of Satanism and the occult. The fear and fascination they generated were reflected in the media coverage and public discourse of the time, with news reports and talk shows discussing the potential dangers of these dark themes. The line between fiction and reality became blurred, as people began to see the influence of Satanism in everyday life. The cultural conversation was dominated by discussions of the occult, with experts and pundits weighing in on the potential dangers and implications. Real-life events like the McMartin preschool trial, where daycare providers were falsely accused of satanic ritual abuse, highlighted the dangers of mass hysteria and the very real consequences of misunderstanding this often misinterpreted belief system. The trial, one of the longest and most expensive in American history, was a stark reminder of how fear and suspicion can lead to devastating consequences. The accusations, based on dubious evidence and coerced testimonies, ruined lives and left a lasting impact on the community. The trial became a symbol of the dangers of moral panic and the importance of critical thinking and due process. Highlighted the dangers of mass hysteria and the very real consequences of misunderstanding this often misinterpreted belief system. The satanic panic of the 1980s and 1990s was a period of widespread fear and paranoia, fueled by sensationalist media reports and a lack of understanding about alternative belief systems. It led to numerous false accusations, wrongful convictions, and a climate of fear and suspicion that affected countless lives. The legacy of this period serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of letting fear and ignorance drive public policy and social attitudes. It reminds us of the importance of skepticism, critical thinking, and the need to understand before we judge. Satanism, despite its controversies, has left an indelible mark on American culture. From its early days, it has been a subject of fascination, fear, and misunderstanding. The very mention of Satanism conjures images of dark rituals and sinister gatherings, but the reality is far more nuanced. Over the decades, Satanism has evolved, influencing various aspects of culture, art, and philosophy. Its presence can be felt in the rebellious spirit of rock music, the provocative themes in modern art, and the challenging ideas in contemporary literature. It's a movement that refuses to be ignored, constantly pushing the boundaries of what is considered acceptable and forcing society to confront its own prejudices and fears. The influence of Satanism extends beyond mere shock value. It has become a lens through which we can examine the complexities of human nature and societal norms. By challenging the status quo, it invites us to question the very foundations of our beliefs and values. It's a philosophy that continues to challenge the status quo, provoke debate, and inspire art that pushes boundaries. Artists and thinkers who align with satanic principles often use their work to question societal norms and highlight the hypocrisies they see in mainstream culture. This can be seen in the bold, often controversial pieces displayed in galleries and museums around the world. These works are not just about shock value, they are a call to think deeper, to question the world around us, and to embrace the complexity of human nature. The debates that arise from these works are a testament to their power, sparking conversations that might otherwise be suppressed. These conversations are crucial for societal growth, as they force us to confront uncomfortable truths and reconsider long-held beliefs. By engaging with these provocative ideas, we can foster a more open and inclusive dialogue about the nature of our society and the values we hold dear. It reminds us that conformity can be stifling and that true freedom lies in embracing our individuality, even our darker sides. In a world that often demands conformity, Satanism stands as a beacon for those who dare to be different. It encourages people to explore their true selves, to embrace their desires and passions, and to reject the notion that they must fit into a predefined mold. This celebration of individuality is evident in various social movements and cultural events that champion uniqueness and personal freedom. By acknowledging and accepting our darker sides, we can achieve a more holistic understanding of ourselves and the world we live in. This acceptance of our full selves, including our flaws and darker impulses, is essential for personal growth and self-awareness. It allows us to live more authentically and to connect with others on a deeper, more meaningful level. So the next time you hear the word Satanism, remember, it's more than just dark rituals and devil worship. It's a complex and multifaceted belief system that has evolved over time. Historically, Satanism has been used as a scapegoat for various societal ills, often misunderstood and misrepresented. However, those who delve deeper into its teachings find a philosophy that values personal freedom, critical thinking, and the questioning of authority. It's about challenging the status quo and seeking truth, even if that truth is uncomfortable. The discussions and debates surrounding Satanism are crucial in breaking down the stereotypes and misconceptions that have long plagued it. By engaging with these ideas, we can develop a more nuanced understanding of the world and our place in it. This deeper understanding can lead to greater empathy and a more compassionate society, as we learn to appreciate the diverse perspectives and experiences that shape our world. It's a complex and often misunderstood belief system that forces us to confront our own beliefs and the limits of our comfort zones. By engaging with the ideas and principles of Satanism, we are encouraged to look beyond the surface and question the deeper meanings behind our actions and beliefs. This process of introspection and critical thinking is essential for personal growth and societal progress. Whether we agree with its tenets or not, the influence of Satanism on culture and thought cannot be denied. It serves as a reminder that true understanding comes from exploring all facets of human experience, even those that challenge our preconceived notions and push us out of our comfort zones. In doing so, we can foster a more open-minded and inclusive society, where diverse ideas and perspectives are valued and respected. This journey of exploration and understanding is what ultimately drives human progress and enriches our collective experience.